You're sitting in the, with all the racers and stuff, and they get mad because you ain't doing this, the track's not this.
Staging lanes.
Huh?
Staging lanes.
Staging lanes, usually, that's when it happens, exactly. So anyway, so we've kind of made it where it's worked for the last 4 years now, but it's tough. And I was talking a little bit yesterday with Wes Buck and Bobby Bennett, and I said, if I can do this seminar, Todd, me, and Big Don, if we can do this seminar and help just one racetrack, it helps our industry altogether. We are not in competition, although everybody thinks we are not in competition. I guess if you're close to each other, you would be, but you should work closer together than try to work against each other. So if I can promote the guy down the street, keep a race off of him, if we can. We do that all the time, and we work close to make sure we don't put our races on the same time as the guy down the street. So, and I think it's worked out well. We've had a couple occasions, but usually the show that they may have on is different than the show we're putting on. So you're really not competing for the same clientele to get the customer there. So one of the things in 2011, when I called Todd and I said, hey, Todd was buying the racetrack, and I said, I was the #1 sponsor of the racetrack. So Todd goes, hey, will you continue to be my partner? Or would you continue to be my sponsor? I'm looking at taking over the racetrack and taking the lease. It was closing. They sold it off. Todd owned it then too, but he wanted to keep it. So he was going to lease the property. And he said, would you continue to be a sponsor? I said, absolutely. I've been there for, I don't know, I think it was 20 years at that point. I was there with a Chevrolet dealership in Claremore. It's always been the Suburban Chevrolet Bracket Series. And that since I started bracket racing, actually before that. So anyway, and then the next day I called him back up and I said, hey, do you want a partner? Like an idiot. And I said, do you want a partner? He goes, are you asking? And I said, yeah. And he goes, well, heck yeah, why not? I mean, we didn't know each other from Adam, other than being at the racetrack and talking to each other. Am I not right? We didn't know each other. And so it led from, just give you a little insight of how the racetrack ended up happening. There was a whole lot of things when it comes to a racetrack, when I was a racer and a sponsor both, that the racetrack wasn't doing. As a sponsor, you go and ask for money from companies all over, and you expect them just to give it to you because you're a racetrack. That's not fair to them. It's not fair for you to ask. So when I went into Todd, I said, well, I'll be your partner, but we're going to do some things a little bit differently when it comes to the marketing side of it. And he said, well, you do that side, and I'll do this side, which what I say is he's the, I don't know if I should say the word with him. He's the asshole. And I'm the good guy.
Good guy, bad guy.
I mean, it truly is. It has to work that way. And I don't want to be known as the guy that you got to go ask to do something. Usually, like I was telling somebody a while ago outside, I said, shoot, when you're coming up stage lanes and, hey, the racer goes, hey, they won't let me do this and that. You on the track? I'm like, I can't believe that. You better go ask Todd. You better go ask Big Don. That ain't my department.
Thanks.
Hey, what time we run? I have no idea. And I will tell you that. Ask any racer will tell you, I won't know nothing. I didn't even know what time this meeting was. Todd had to tell me. No.
You know what day
I did get that confused, which usually doesn't happen.
Thank God you sobered him up.
No joke. But you just have to look at everything to be different when it comes to the drag racing world. I've probably got one of the biggest personalities you'll probably ever meet next to Stevie Fast and Donald Long. Y'all may not like Donald Long. You may like him, you may not like him. But let me tell you something. He knows how to promote. No matter if you like him or not, you better embrace a lot of things that he's doing. And I'm not tooting his horn. I'm just saying some of the things that he does is good. Not everything. Okay?
Where's he at?
Huh?
Where's he at?
He's here. No, he's at the convention.
Where's he from?
Donald Long,
Yes, he's from Florida.
he's from Florida,
Oh, okay.
does 2 races a year, and if you ain't heard it, you ain't drag racing. Lights out, no mercy. I mean, you guys, you can't, that's a race, those are 2 races, and I don't mean that in a bad way, just so you know. But those are 2 races that you should pay attention to because they do some pretty good numbers. I've been there. I've been a part of it. I announced it after wrecking my car, they invited me up to announce it.
In the fall,
Huh?
in October.
In October. I announced the race, they invited me up, I flew back out the next day, and just because I support drag racing, in February I went out and did great numbers with a radio car. Very first time I've ever been in a radio car. So it made a whole lot of noise, the car's name Enigma, a lot of you probably know it. I was testing it, we put it up for the year, I wrecked it, we got it fixed, wrecked it again. I didn't, my driver did. And then I decided to go test it, we got it fixed, tested it, I wrecked it again. So I have hit the wall 3 times. So the stories online is true. But I felt obligated because they put a lot of promotional stuff into me. Donald did, the Ozzy did down at SMTG, which has been great to deal with. But I felt compelled to go to that race no matter what. So my son was playing in a football championship on Saturday. I flew in on Thursday night, announced on Friday, went home Saturday and went to football. So that's how that deal did. But he's a great promoter. So I went there and I love drag racing, that's why I did it. So a little bit into the marketing side of Tulsa Raceway Park. Now, I've seen probably every one of your all stuff. I don't know everybody's name or which play. I know your plays. I probably don't know your name, but I've watched everything you've done. I've studied probably a lot of posts, a lot of your websites, a lot of things that you do. I've studied it. And the reason why is I'm a car dealer. Owns 8 car dealerships. And when you own 8 car dealerships, what's the most goal? Get the customer in the door, right? Is that any different than a drag race? Is it a racetrack? It's the exact same thing. You want to get the customer in the door. When's your racers going to come? When you got customers in the door, right? Everybody wants to race at a place that's got everybody in the stands, right? That's just a fact. And it's tougher and tougher today to get those people to come. And our costs keep going up. I mean, nothing changes to that. So we have to look at a million different ways, which Big Don and Todd do a great job of figuring out different ways to make the track more profitable and more useful. I'd probably say more useful than anything else. We have all this property, all this land, and we do nothing with it other than drag race. Well, there's a lot more things we can do. And I'll let Big Don get into some of the shows that we do that allows us to make money outside of drag racing, which happen. So I'm going to go into a little bit of the website first, then I'll go into there's a whole lot of things you're all fixing to find out exactly. I'm not going to hold back. I'm not in competition with you. If you do good, I promise you I'll do good because the drag racers are going to build race cars. Your companies are going to want to sponsor more. They're going to believe in our motorsports that it's bigger than NASCAR. I mean, look at the industry. We're coming up. I think we're coming up in the drag racing world. That's my opinion. I don't think we're going down. I think we're coming up. But we have to stay on the front side of it or we won't go anywhere. So if you've been living in the past, let's hope today that I can help you change some of that and do better at your racetrack. And if you do, just let me know because I'd appreciate it. I like to hear everybody's good stories. So on the marketing side, on the technical and everything else, Todd, I'll let them speak for that. I'm going to go a little bit into our website. Now, I've been to a lot of your websites, and a lot of y'all have a better website than us. I'm not going to lie, some of y'all do. But if it's not mobile friendly, it's not worth having. How many people get on their phone and use it for internet? How many get on Facebook? Instagrams, everything, right? A phone will look differently on your mobile site will look different than your website, and it's supposed to be that way. Now, a person can scroll to the bottom and change it to a desktop view. I don't know if y'all know that, but you can't do it here because it's not, but you can, down here at the bottom, usually if you're on your iPhone or any type of Android, it'll say, at the very bottom of the mobile, it'll say switch to desktop view. And then it can look just like this. But the problem is, if it's not mobile friendly, you're not getting to your customer. It makes it real hard for them to motor around and figure out information that they need. So, our website is very mobile friendly. It's not the best, prettiest looking website. It doesn't have all the color. It just kind of is what it is. So, but on the mobile side, it worked extremely well. Before I get into all the tabs and some of the things that will help you all at your racetrack, I want to thank Racing Junk. I don't know, I haven't seen Jim, Tony, and the crew. I mean, this group of people has been really, really good to the racetrack. And I don't know how many here have partnered up or done any type of deals with Racing Junk, but if you haven't, reach out to them. They're really good for your racetrack. And they've been good to us. And we've been good to them. And I'll get into that side of it when I get into the last part. So I just want to thank them for letting us put this on. So when it comes to the website, we decided to change it no way than you look at it every single day. Facebook has an integration tool that allows you to put your actual Facebook on your website. So it's called an embedded code. You can put in there's an embedded code for it. You put it on your Facebook, and everything we run, they can see right over here. They can follow us. They can do things there. On this side, of course, there's no events on right now. This is a Google Calendar. A lot of y'all do your own, and you type in, and you build a big old spreadsheet, then you copy and paste it, and then this changes all of a sudden. You got rain today, but your schedule still says we're on for today. I'm sorry, we moved the race till tomorrow. Well, with a Google Calendar, there's an embedded code that you can use a Google Calendar. And the Google Calendar will allow you to do instantaneous changes. So you can change something right now, and it changes on your website right now. So, I don't know how many people are using Google Calendar? Wow. For your racetrack? Wow. Google Calendar is really good. So, I'll go into it first. So, right here it is. So, if I go up to my Google Calendar, this right here is this is our Google Calendar for the racetrack. I can click on, of course I got mine on there, my personal stuff. But right here I put in, okay, we got our event. So this was Redemption, the no prep race that we had. I probably need to log out because of YouTube, so. Anyway, you go in here and you can create the event. I'm going to go ahead and log out, sorry. As you can see, I got a lot of Google accounts. All right, we'll go back here. For instance, okay, Redemption. If I click on it, right here, you can put the time and the date of the event. You can write cancel. If I write cancel right now, it will show up, and I hit save, it'll automatically show up. That's how quick it is. And down here, if you scroll down, you can put your event, the times, the schedules, and everything that's going on for the event. Then you go, and you can also, after you get all that, how much is all card, you can then put in what they have, and it's called Drive on Google. You put your flyer, whatever you got going on, you can put, well, the customer sees that. So when they go and find you, Google optimizes too. So what optimization means, they can find your event just by typing into Google a lot quicker because it's optimized, because it's on Google's calendar. Google wants Google to do good, right? So if you're using Google, they're gonna make sure that their stuff does good. So, anyway, I can change this in a matter of seconds, save it, it's done on the website. Automatically goes straight over to here and shows up. It is the easiest thing in the world to do. You can schedule your whole year out, and it's awesome. The only thing that shows up here is what's going on this week. So, whatever's going on for the month, whatever's going on for the week. So everything's on there, they can click on it, there'll be a little, right there, there you go. So there's a customer, they can click on it, gives them directions to the track, does everything. So that's one tool. You got two, you got Facebook that you can put integrated into your website. You got the Google Calendar. The Google Calendar will help you all run a better organization, I promise you. How many times have we changed it? We got rain. How many times has anybody had rain?
Every time it rains.
Every time it rains, boom, we put it on there. Then we go, and you can also then share it on all your social media if you want to do it at the same time. There's so much you can do. So that's a couple things that we do different. The other part is advertising. Everybody wants to make more money, right? Everybody wants to get more money in the house. Well, your website, how many people know how many people go to your website per month? Does anybody know? Very good. What do you use it? Google Analytics or what?
I personally don't do it. My general manager for the track's got a report that comes out. I believe it's Google Analytics.
Google Analytics. How many people use Google Analytics? Great. Great. That's good. That's a good tool. Because when you go to ask for money, you need to be talking about it. This website sees, not as many as my Facebook, okay, because Facebook's kind of taken over the world. It is. And when I get into depth in that, that's what's really going to help you all the most. You all think you do know it. I promise you today, you're going to find out what you don't know. So, and how they manipulate it. Facebook does. So anyway, in order to get, these are $250. Now, most of y'all look at that and say $250, or no, I'm sorry, they're $500 a year. That's what we charge for each one of those, $500 for a year. You think for a year, ain't very much money. You're exactly right, but if you get 100 of them, how much money is it? I'm not asking for $1 million to go to be on my website. Now this one over here is $1,500. It's very simple. It's not a whole lot of money for a year. It is a lot of money, in my opinion. To some of us, maybe it's not, but to me it is. And every dollar that comes into the racetrack is every dollar I don't have to put out of my pocket, or Todd doesn't either. So we sell them cheap.
That guy don't pay.
This guy here, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he does. So each one of these people pay, and we have, I think, 25 or 30 of them that pay $500 a piece. We have like 8 that pay $1,500 a piece. So, like I said, I'm not going to hide anything.
Is that website only, or you got additional advertising for them at the track?
There's other stuff that goes along with it, but it's part of a pack. Some just buy the website, some buy a package. So I may have an event that I'll tie it into, hey, you sponsor this class, you get a website, you get Facebook posts, you get whatever. And I'll get into some of that in a little bit. Next is, you got to have marketing with TRP. You got to have something. How many people have a book? You have the book. How many people have a book on advertising? Raise your hand. Does it have your pricing in it? Everything priced. We have which I can download it. You can download it from our website right here. You're welcome to download it. You're welcome to copy off of it. Do whatever you want to do. We don't care. I mean, if it helps your racetrack, it's fine with me. You'll change out the pictures. But we have a marketing book that talks about the racetrack. Both Todd and I, I can't really put it up there, but kind of goes through our events, opportunities, sponsorships. We have Midnight Drags. We sell that. I mean, all our advertising for everything we do on the racetrack. And then, of course, we have our mud racetrack. And then we put big stories, Google Analytics stuff, Facebook stuff. Everything's all in this book. So when you go up to a sponsor and you ask them, or I call marketing partners, you go and ask them for money, you have something to show them. You have proof. The problem with the industry today is we want money, but we don't do anything for it. And as a sponsor for almost 20-something years, I seen it because they bought cars occasionally, but they really didn't tell me what I was getting. They didn't tell me anything. Nobody showed me a dang thing. So when I partnered up with Todd, I said, that's one thing I'm going to change. And that's the reason why Racing Junk, Lucas Oil, I can go on and on, all of them that do all the stuff. I've never lost one sponsor. Write that down. Never.
Part of the reasoning behind that is that when Keith and I put this deal together, we both always felt that when you would go out to a potential client, a marketing partner, and you're gonna say, I want to give you this, the spot up here for $500 or whatever, and we tell them, you're gonna get, I don't know the numbers, 20,000 views a week on it. There was ever any correlation of what they were actually paying for. So now we're giving them, you go to the store, you buy a gallon of milk for $4, you got a gallon of milk. You buy that advertising there, you don't know what you're getting. The number one problem with racetracks is that we promise and we never deliver. A lot of racetracks do that. So what we always try to do is, if you're going to give us $1,500, we're going to give you $3,000, $4,000 worth of advertising. We just feel that we want to give you more value for your dollar. So we'd rather go in a little bit cheaper, get more of them, and give you more exposure than what you're expecting, because nobody gets mad if you get charged a little less or you deliver more than what you're anticipating. And that's how these relationships have continued to grow with like Racing Junk. It wasn't easy. Believe me, Keith and I beat on that door for 3 years. And we did everything we could to show them that we're going to move the whole drag racing entertainment industry forward. And that's the part that I'll talk to Keith with. But that was the number one thing that Keith and I wanted to do. We wanted to under-promise and over-deliver. If you do that, you'll have successful marketing partners.
And they'll stay with you. And that's the biggest part, is they will stay with you. But if you don't show them, how can they stay with you? I mean, it just is what it is. It's kind of like baseball. You're up to bat. If you're not batting good, you're going to set the bench, right? If you're not playing good, you're going to set the bench. It's the same thing. That's what happens to racetrack. And because we've all been so used to doing the racetrack business the way it was done years ago, that it's hard to transition into the way of today. And the way of today has changed tremendously. So have something about marketing with you on your website. And I know a lot of you all do. So, but make sure that what you're pricing for, you're not overpricing. If you overprice, they won't come back. I'm just telling you. I've got one company that, and I'll say it, Wiseco. Great company. Todd and I worked on them. I couldn't tell you that amount of years we worked trying to get Wiseco to do something with us. I mean, work. Just no. I tell you what, I'm going to do 1 year for free for you. But you got to promise, if I deliver, you do something with me next year. What happened? Last year was their first year, and they're coming back again this year. Aeromotive, Steve McCusick, great guy. He's never sponsored a racetrack other than Topeka, which is in his hometown, but he hadn't done it in over 11 years. When we opened up the racetrack, Steve McCusick was the very first advertiser we got. He still today spends money with us, has never left. He sees the value. If you call Bub, they get pissed off because they get so many emails from us about results. They don't really get pissed off. But, they're going, God, he sends one every dang race. Well, that's what it's all about. And we'll get into that. So anyway, I'm about done with that. Some of the things that we've done is,
Just crash your website.
I got to fix it.
What kind of videos you've been watching, Keith?
It's the add-on tool. Another thing we got is. Sorry.
Pay extra for that, huh?
Yeah, I own a couple TV channels, that has unlimited viewerships. I bought them from a company, and I can use them all over the world, have as many people I want on it at all times. Doesn't cost anything. Streams right from my website, comes straight from the track. Now, we have those just for the events that we don't go live with. How many people are paying to have live feed at their racetrack? If you have a big event, you're paying somebody to do something, right? To have live feed. Well, we're trying to change that in-house. So we've got cameras on the big end and on the tower. There's still a couple of things that I figured out this weekend, that I'll figure out this weekend, that will allow me to do my live feed, not pay anybody to do it.
We actually have 17 cameras at our racetrack. We have them at the starting line, we have them at the 60-foot, we have them at the 8th mile, we have them at the finish line. We're trying to figure out how to incorporate these
All together.
and work. But the reason why we first started out with them is for safety reasons, not really for advertising. But now that we can see that we can link all these together, I mean, we have a lot of friends and family that like to watch us from around the country that we can't race. I mean, my parents never have seen me race, and I've raced since I was 16 years old. My parents have never been to a drag race with me, ever. But my dad and my mom will watch online. The thing that I have a problem with the live feeds is local racing and figuring out a way to block it out, because the redemption race that we just had, I did some live feed stuff, and we had 3 million people watching it, and I started looking, and we had 30,000 local people watching it, and I'm like, 30,000, even if like 10 of them came and paid me my ticket price, I mean, I'd be doing okay. So I kind of have some mixed emotions about the live feed stuff in a way, and they're coming up with some way to do IPO.
It's called IP blockage.
Yeah, blockage. So
which is in your local area. You can block all the IPs in your local area. Nobody can see your online feed.
But Keith and I, we sell these channels for different races and stuff. So even like a bracket race. I mean, because Grandpa, Grandma's at home, and they're in Iowa, and the kids there. And now that we have the Western Conference
it's boring
Finals,
to watch because it's just a.
Yeah, because we don't announce it. You just get the overfeed from the announcing booth.
From the
But
tower.
it allows other people to come and see your racetrack, and it allows other people to understand what you're doing at your racetrack. You know, they always say Don Rickles always said, you know, the number one sincerest flattery is to be mocked. Okay, so if somebody, I mean, Keith and I did not dream this stuff up. We didn't just show up 5-6 years ago in racing business. All we did is take what was out there, and we're trying to make it better. And we have to all work together, as he said earlier. But these pieces, this is a piece of a pie, making a cookie, or however you want to look at it. You have to have all of these. If you're one-dimensional, it's not going to work. You've got to, I hate to use this word, you train a dog, but you have to educate your audience to come back to your racetrack, to look for whatever. We had a balloon festival this year at our racetrack. The racetrack's been there 52 years, and people said, we didn't know there's a racetrack here. We're right next to the airport. How did you not know that there's not a racetrack here for the last 52 years? But we brought people into the racetrack now that have come back since the balloon festival. When was that?
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day weekend. They've come back for other events saying, well, we came out because of the balloon festival. We actually used this live feed to watch the balloons
Go up.
take off.
And it was awesome.
So, I mean,
Are you set up to sell advertising during that live feed?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what you're going to find is I do a lot. I do.
oh, here he goes. He does everything, everybody.
I mean, let me tell you what. I'm not kidding
We can
you.
leave.
I own eight car dealerships, a racetrack, a couple snow cone shacks. My wife does that. But I am so busy that my phone is probably dinged 50 times the things I need to do today. But I do it because I love it. And this sport it truly needs people to care more. And I believe that's what I've done for Tulsa Raceway Park on the marketing side of it. So let me just keep going. So like I said, there's a whole bunch of pieces of the pie. How many people sell tickets online? Raise your hand if you sell tickets. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. 7. 7 people sell tickets online. One of the things we're going to change in 2017, and Don's fixing to hear it, is, one of you already knows, we're moving to some systems that allows us to be more in the social world and the internet world. How many people use Square? How many people use Square for your racetrack? How many people sell tickets on Square? How many people sell their merchandise and their inventory in their souvenir stand? How many of y'all sell with Square? Good job. If you're not doing that, you're missing out on some business during the winter months and all through it. How many people need cash flow? Raise your hand. Everybody needs cash flow. I'm just telling you. Square, we're moving to it this year. We've done all the research. We've been using Eventbrite. How many people use Eventbrite? Eventbrite is free.
Nope, it's not.
What?
You're right about that.
No, it isn't free. You're right. It isn't free. They do charge you a percentage, no different than Square does. The only thing they allow you to do is charge the customer and not yourself. So with Eventbrite, it's been really, really good, instrumental to the racetrack. I've been doing it a long time, and that's a big piece of the racetrack. Don's been doing it a long time
I've been
as
using
well.
Eventbrite for 7 years.
Keith, could you tell us what it is for the people who may not know?
Eventbrite is a ticketing system which I have up right here. You can do your concessions. You can do your gates. You can do everything with Eventbrite. No different than, well, no different. I mean, it's a ticketing company.
And it's live.
And it's live. They do not charge you at the gate. That's what I meant. They don't charge you a percentage at the gate because you're taking cash. But if you sell a ticket online, they're going to charge the customer whatever their fee is. It may be $2, it may be $1, maybe 50 cents, depending on your ticket. But we charge the customer for that, and the customer pays. We still get our ticket cost. So if it's a $25 ticket, it's $28 to the customer. We still get our $25. Now you see the commission fee that they make, which the last race we did, they got a big one. So, but we still got what we wanted, and that was our ticket price.
What really amazed me about the deal is that we increased
Cash flow.
lost money by 21.2% this year. And when I say lost money, I mean, where did that money go before this year? It gets put in the wrong account. It doesn't get accounted for. More people walking through the gate because Joey's in there and I got to just take this part in. I got to come right back. That's all that all goes away with that now. To gain 20% in 1 year just off of the money that we already had that had fallen on the ground and we didn't know it was there was a huge step for us. We're reluctant to change. Some people are reluctant to technology, but these things can really drastically increase your bottom line at your racetrack. That's what I worry about. He gets all these people here, and then I got to do something with them, right? He sells fire to the devil, and I got to go pray for him. So, but
guys, it's just a tool. Now, Eventbrite's free for those that are not on it. Go look into it. You can email me. Write down my email. It's keith.haney, KEITH.HANEY @saveongm.com, SAVEONGM.com.
here comes the commercial.
There you go. Now, if you have a question about Eventbrite, I can walk you through it. It's not that big a deal, and I don't mind answering emails. It may take me a day. It may take me 2 seconds. So, if I'm out of town, it'll take me a little bit. But if I'm in town, you'll probably get answered within 5 minutes.
On your ticket, how many of y'all print a ticket? 1, 2, 3.
How many people use kiss machines? How many people spend a lot of money on kiss machine stuff?
If you're not taking an electronic ticket and printing a ticket, you're losing money. You think, well, what about the cost of printing the ticket and stuff? It's very, very, very small compared to the amount of money that you're losing. There's a reason when you go to to the movie theater, that you buy that ticket and you walk in and that kid that has no idea what he's doing there talking to the girl next to him, they're just tearing tickets and throwing them in a box and he really doesn't even know what he's doing. There's a reason for that. That right there will save you about 12% through your gate if you just do that. You will collect 12% more money.
Double entry.
It's a double entry point and they cannot get around it. If somebody at if your gate personnel, and a lot of y'all are family operated, nothing wrong with that. You can do with what we're not.
Don't worry about it.
We want to make sure that dollar that was supposed to go to the gate ends up where it's supposed to go. So if the lady at the gate decides to let somebody in for a package of brownies and he gets up there to the security guy and he doesn't have that ticket, they're not coming in. You're going back and paying, or vice versa. So I mean, these are real numbers that I've put together. If
it's easy.
These are cash businesses, and if you're working to get this $500,000, $1,500 sponsorship for your racetrack, and you're giving that away, you are not making that money because you're letting people in.
So that's one of the things that Eventbrite will do for you, or Eventbrite will do it, or Square, or there's other systems that are out there.
A lot of POS systems.
Let me tell you what, if you can sell your ticket before they get there, that's one ticket you didn't get that someone didn't take from you. I'm sorry, but this is a cash-based business. I bet you money that every single buddy here has been taken from it. Everybody. You got an $8 an hour help dealing with thousands of $1,000s worth of cash. I'm sorry. It happens. And if you don't believe it, you're wrong. Now, if you get family oriented, I've even seen family do it. So some take the family, the owner's doing great and they're not doing good. I deserve to get it. They're my family. Yes, sir.
Using the same ticketing system for your entries as well as your spectators?
Yes.
Yeah.
We have moved to that, made a central location. Now we're doing some changes this year. We're moving a building to the front of the racetrack. You can't get in the racetrack, period. If you want to go to the office, or you want to go to the media center, or we're fixing to build a big building. But if you're wanting to go into the racetrack, you better pay. If you want to see such and such at the tower, because that's normally, our tower is where all our office is and everything, right? That's where our office is. Well, we're moving it to the front gate. You want to go to the tower? You want to see Rhonda? Well, guess what? You're not going through the gates to see Rhonda. You're going to go right here. They can walk right in. We'll have an entry to go through the back. They can head out the back. We want to let them in. But we are tightening up the ropes and changing the way it's done at Tulsa, that's for sure. We are trying to figure out how can we keep, if we're going to continue to do this, how do we keep every dollar that we got coming to us? So that's one of the things, double entry, all that. We're moving our offices, accounting, everything to the front gate. Huh?
Go back to your marketing.
Yeah, to the front gate. That helps, yes.
When you do the online ticketing, do you still make them sign the waiver release and the pits and all?
There's no require. Are you in an NHRA, HRA, dirt track? What are you? Dirt track. So who do you have? Safeco? Safehold, I mean?
No.
You have Wells Fargo?
No. It's
Have K&K?
K&K.
Okay. This is where I excel.
This is his.
I'm the liability guy. If they're not entering into a restricted area, they do not have to sign anything. So we do not have anybody have to sign that. Only your racer that goes into a restricted area is required to sign that waiver. That's for K&K, Safehold, all those insurance companies. So, but what way we get around that, on that back side of that printed ticket, it has that waiver, and it says when you accepted this ticket, you accepted that liability.
The other thing is there is a place in Eventbrite and there is a place in Square to where you can add a auto waiver deal. When you print that, you're accepting the waiver, and you get to upload your waiver in a PDF format to that. The customer never sees it. It's one of that small print things that's going to save you one day. But
The best part about it is you're not using all that paper. You don't
and
need
it's
manpower.
all so.
Let me tell you what, this ticket
is on
deal don't need any manpower. That's the best thing. You don't need to pay somebody to take it. It just does it for you. And the cash comes to you. You can choose, like our last event, we chose not to take the cash until 2 days before the event started. 2 days before the event started, we took the cash. So they sent it to our checking account. Eventbrite, well, you set up your checking account with them, they'll automatically wire the money straight into your checking account, and you can do it where you take it immediately. Normally, they make you wait 72 hours.
It's 2 to 3 days, depending
So
on.
I think it's 72 hours, no, 48 hours, 48 hours. So 48 hours before you can actually get the money online. So, but it still helps, no matter how you look at it.
And then,
So this year, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up every single event that we have going. Don's finding out right now. Every single event that we have going, there'll be an event set up on Facebook, and I'll show you all that in a minute. There'll be tickets where you can buy the tickets now for a race in November. Yes, all that cash now. We can choose to take that money in November's race now, or we can leave it there and take it when the event comes up. So what we'll do is we'll leave it there and take it when the event comes up. We don't need, because if you got money, what do? You spend money. Yeah, you got money, you spend money. Well, that's going to the event, that's how we're doing it. Now with the Square deal, how many people have marketing partners that you have to call to get paid? With Square, you can create a invoice directly from Square, email it straight to them, and they can pay with a credit card right now. You say, well, I'm going to lose that 1%. I'm going to lose that 2%. Or whatever the fee is. But I'm going to lose that money because I'm taking a credit card. That's correct. How much money did you lose because you had to wait 6 months to get your money? The event's over. How many people have been paid after the event was done? Trying to change it. We're trying to streamline it. Cash flow is everything when it comes to a racetrack. Cash flow is everything. And making money is everything. So this is just, again, I can go on all day about a whole lot of things, but I want to help you all make your racetracks better and have more cash flow both. And at the end of the day, if you don't have cash, you can't create an event, right? Plain and simple. Yes, sir.
What do you do about your season ticket packages?
We don't have any season ticket packages. It is something that Todd is working on right now. If anybody has an idea on a season ticket package, that'd be awesome because, yes, you have one?
I do. All this sounds really pretty good, all these different pieces that you have going on making this puzzle. But I'm just curious, with all this complexity, isn't there just one piece of motorsports software that's out there between that one piece of software and your website, and that's all that you need to be able to accomplish all these different things you guys are talking about?
Nobody's done it yet.
What if I told you that somebody does?
Well,
What if I told you I created it and I have it and I own it? What if I told you
I need your business card?
What if I told you, what if I tell you that I've got successful former IndyCar drivers that are using it just to market their events, to do the newsletters, to do the web forms, to do the web liability forms, to do everything, season tickets, box office sales, barcode scanning of tickets, all of it.
No, we do all
One
of
piece
it.
of software.
okay.
So we
I'd like to see that
don't,
after.
so it doesn't have to be.
Like I said, the question is the cost of it. This is
Oh.
free.
No, there's a lot of components to that doesn't make it free.
No, it's free.
When you're deferring your cost to be able to give it to your end user who's buying that ticket,
Right.
that's still not free.
Well, show it to me afterwards. I'd like to see it. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
We've had season tickets for 5 years,
Have you?
and
You can still do that on here.
rate December #1 seller.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
We're trying to
not for-
figure out.
what
is that
kind
for
of,
every
what kind of
event
track do you have?
Every event?
It's a full year package.
Every event.
Uh,
So if you got a $25 ticket for one event and you got a $15 day ticket for another event,
Only special events and very rare, like if we bring in the World of Outlaws or something.
okay,
That's
so
a dirt
so
car.
special events you don't have it for, just for the normal everyday.
How many events do you have?
17.
We have 114.
136 this year.
Yeah, 136 events.
136 events this year is what we got.
So I'm trying to figure out how do I sell this park pass for 136 events and not lose.
Do a season ticket pack, registration, liability. I mean, it just.
Right, right. Yes. We'll get out of the website side, but tickets, little online fee, just general stuff, guys. If you're not hitting your hotels up, I'll give you that. If you're not hitting your hotels up, for how many are getting free rooms? Wow, you're kidding me.
We get a pretty good.
There's one person in here getting free rooms? 2, 3? You're kidding me. How many people give rooms to have an announcer come in?
From
Come down to Myrtle Beach and try and get some free rooms, brother.
I'm telling you what, if you show them how much you're bringing into them for your event, I promise you they'll give you free tickets.
I promise you they won't.
We had
I'd take that challenge.
Get in line for hotel.
No, we had a hotel company. I'm not going to name the company.
Hilton's great.
Obviously, it wasn't.
Right.
They did not want to sponsor the racetrack or get in the hotel group. So I just said, well, if you don't want to see the impact, if you want to see the impact we have on your business, it'll be real easy, because we went out and we said, when you come to Tulsa, stay at all these hotels other than this one.
We did.
Absolutely did.
Just
They
last
called
year.
back.
Just last
They
year.
came back and they
kept
begged
back
me.
begging.
Lucky for you.
Yeah,
I
but,
promise if our guys
but-
ain't staying at the hotel, there's plenty other people.
right, and I get Myrtle Beach is a giant tourist place and people all go there, and I know, but Nelson Hoyas is sitting right here. They run a racetrack in Shreveport, Louisiana. It's full of casinos, and they're the best in the world at going to do that. So, I mean, I'll just say that's where I learned how to do it from. And I mean, he does Shreveport, Louisiana. I mean, the place is full of casinos. The only reason people come there, and the casinos are giving racers rooms. So you need to talk to Nelson.
So anyway, you should be getting, we get about 70 rooms a year. We get 70 rooms a year free. So when I bring in an announcer, an Al Tucci for a race, or I've got Wes Buck coming in with Drag Illustrated, he doesn't pay for rooms, or I get, it could be anything, like our Nitro National guys. We have a group of guys that we give rooms to. It's just, that's how you get them to come too. Helps them, it costs them less, yes.
Pete, what about like with your hoteliers, do you do like a swap out deal where for X amount of dollars worth of hotel rooms, they get, assigned on the racetrack, or how does that work?
Usually, most of them, we have a couple that pay us $1,500. They'll buy a track sign and a deal, and they get the website, they get social media, and they get to be on all our flyers. Here's your places. So, you should be getting, or you can just trade out for rooms, and that's fine. Trust me, you'll use those rooms. They will help you. So, if you're not getting it, try it.
Go back and you're going to have a state tourism board of some sort where you're at, or you're going to have like we have Tulsa
Sports
Commission,
Travel Commission.
Though they actually can go and block rooms for your larger events. And if you work this relationship with them, they will end up giving you a part of that hotel tax that's out there. We've done this for like bike rallies. We had a 50,000 person motorcycle rally, which about shot myself in the head over. But they gave us a large portion of the hotel tax fee that's there. When you go in the back of the door, like tonight when you go in the room, it says $37 to be here. Part of that is going to the tourism, to the Motorsports Commission, to blah, blah, blah. Get with those people and get those blocks and make them give you that money, because that money is actually owed to you for bringing those people into your state. What happens, nobody goes and gets it, and they get to do what they want with it. It's there, even in Ozark.
Our problem with location is the newest hotel is 10 minutes away, and the county we're in, the largest for the hotel is 25. So
We have an exact same problem. We're in Tulsa County, but we're closer to Owasso, and they're completely different. So we have to deal with one to get the other. And
in that case, do you kind of rebound off the counties?
you do. You have to go work with both of them and just try to patch deals together. And it's going to be different everywhere you go. But you have to go get with those municipal committees, for lack of a better word, be it the tourism board, the commissioners, the city manager, whoever that is that controls that portion in your area. And what we've learned is you can't just put it on your website and say, book your rooms here. They have to be able to track it. If they can't track it, you're never going to get any of that money, because you're going to tell them, man, there's 14 million people here. And they're going to say, well, that's funny because we only booked 7 rooms. And so, the math never adds up, because but if you book it through the city, through the tourism board or whatever, they'll set you up on their website. So all you do is put an embedded code, boom, you click here to book your rooms. It books through the city. Now the city's keeping up with the number, and all they care about is heads and beds and CPI, which is cost per image, impression. And they know how many impressions came from there. They know how much it cost. They know what the revenue was on that. And as soon as they do that, then you're negotiating for those dollars based on their numbers, not yours. Hey, that's your number. You owe me X percentage of this.
We have to convince Lowndes County and Cook County that we're spending, that our guys are spending money with them because we're in Cook County has like.
Come on up here.
2 hotels, yeah.
Come right up here, Judy. Judy, come on.
Yeah, there's seats up here, Judy.
Come on. Judy Franklin with PDRA. Okay, anyway, on the
they say
website,
proceed.
just some, like I said, that's just a couple things on the website that helps you. Hotels, tickets, all of it. So, concentrate on some of that and you'll see that it'll change cash flow and everything in your play. Next is, how many people are using YouTube? We use YouTube on a pretty regular basis. If you're doing a video, or if you're doing a sponsor, or you're doing how many people do commercials on their Facebook? How many people put it on YouTube? Make sure you do both places because they both optimize a different way. So even though you may say, well, YouTube, I don't like sharing YouTube on Facebook. How many people do that? Okay. If you share Facebook on your racetracks, if you share YouTube on your Facebook, you lose viewership. YouTube's winning, you're losing. How many people put a video on your personal page and then share it on the racetrack? How many people do it? Don't do that. Don't do it. Let me tell you why. When you share something, the only people that are really going to see it are those people that are your friends. That's about it. Their friends aren't going to see it. So you got no, don't do that. Every video you do, upload to Facebook yourself. Upload it. It will optimize itself. If you get it going really, really quick with specials like share this video. How many people have seen Tulsa Raceway Park stuff saying share and like to win a free starting line pass? How many people have seen that? It's one of the best things ever. 2-seater dragster ride. Great. Let me tell you what. When they start sharing it, you start trending. Trending on Facebook is when people are looking at you and it's trending. You've probably seen some of the deals on Facebook where it says trending. It's because you're hot. Everybody's looking at your video. So when you first go put it, you better come up with a plan. When you put that video out or that picture out, come up with a plan to get it trending real quick. Because once it starts trending, it starts sharing all over. I mean, Facebook recognizes it, and then they start doing stuff with it because everybody's looking at it. So make sure you do that. So we put it on everything. You can see some of them on YouTube. We don't push YouTube a lot. So you're not getting, this one got 2,000. You're not getting a whole lot. But if I put them on there, you'll see the viewership on it. They don't show the shares on YouTube don't. But that's just something to do. YouTube is another one. All right. How many people have a blog or how many people have a blog? Okay. How many people have a blog for the racetrack? A blog, if you don't know what it is, it's through Google. And Google, like I told you earlier, optimizes. And they recognize this. And they will actually send you an email when people are starting to look at it. So with Google, you put all your press releases. How many people do press releases for the racetrack? Everybody does, right? So you put all those on your channel. And like there's Stands Pack. They will optimize it, and then that's just what they call where it shares and SEO and SEM and all that stuff. So it just optimizes over. Google's a great way to use it, and there you go, Bob. Funny stuff. Anyway, just if you got one, it's great to have it on there. Your website, if you're putting your press releases on your website, it's perfectly fine, but it's not optimizing. It's not going anywhere other than the people that just go to your website. We average a little over 28,000 people a month that go to our website. We have a little over 10,000 unique, and the others are repeats, which is your locals and the people that come back over and over and over again. So those are all the numbers that I do know. I keep track of.
Need to finish up.
Did Eventbrite, we did that, okay. How many people use Constant Contact? Does anybody know what Constant Contact is? It's a great tool. How many people have emails at their racetrack? How many people have emails of racers? Customers, anybody? Okay, I can tell you right now, I have, don't be shocked.
He's always so modest.
Yeah. I have 100,000, 105,000 active emails that I have. 105,000. It's a ton. Why? Because I'm capturing it. Did y'all see Eventbrite? How many see? I just talked about Eventbrite, right? I download from Eventbrite on an Excel format everybody that purchased a ticket online. Guess what I got from them? I got their name, their phone number, their address, and their email. When that event comes back around, they bought a ticket, right? Who do I market to? Those exact people. So, in Eventbrite and in Square, you can remarket back to those exact same people that bought a ticket the last time they were at your, or the last time for that event. Just that event. Had a monster truck show at Toss Raceway Park. How many people had a monster truck show? It's freaking amazing if you ain't doing one. It's awesome. Had a monster truck show, sold all these tickets online, got every one of those people. Guess how many people come to the racetrack afterwards? I got 50% of them come back and watch the drag race. 50%. We're talking about monster truck lovers, not drag racing lovers. They come back and watch the event. So I got 50% of those back. You can track all those numbers. All those numbers are in there. So, like I say, 105,000. I'll do campaigns. For instance, I just did a campaign, and it's a marketing report. We go back into saying what you're giving what you're giving back to your sponsors. Racing Duck will tell you, how many times do y'all get an email from me? After every event.
Daily?
After every event, I'll send out a marketing report, both personal email and through Constant Contact. And in there, I have to create these. In here, which is another great tool, we're talking about marketing. If you look at this, it tells about the race, who won the race, goes down, shows how many people. My website, that's website numbers right there. You go down, you look at the Facebook numbers, a little over 436,000 for that one was my reach. It shows you all your engagements, everything. Sponsored commercial, this is embedded in a YouTube. So, for instance, this one right here is when they get a class or I sell a class to a whole bunch of sponsors. These sponsors, that's one of my stores, these sponsors all pay. So on my online feed, whether I'm getting it through Chad at Bang Shift, whether I'm getting it through Motor Mania, whether I'm buying it through Speed Videos, I own my own advertising. I sell this when they sponsor the class. So they sponsor the class, I put a commercial together, and all these people give me money. And that plays on the online feed all over the country, right? Plus it does at the racetrack. So when that class is called up, or that race class is called up, we talk about these sponsors. When you give me money, I promise you, you're going to hear about it. And we make sure our announcers do exactly that. Talk about your sponsors, because if you don't, they're not going to come back. So there's not been one person, this is our throwdown at T-Town. Every one of those people has sponsored for over 4 years now and is already committed for 2017. Again. So we put that on there, we put all our winner circle Anybody see anything different about this or something interesting? Anybody see the right side of the screen? Trick Titanium, Warren Cat, Wiseco, Mickey Thompson. Keep going on down, Racing Drunk, Crowler, Rear Morrison. So I want to go to Aeromotive. Guess what? I'm an Aeromotive. I send that out in our email blast to every one of our, usually when I do an event, like I'm doing an event, like the redemption race and all that, that we just did. Every one of my sponsors are on the right, or anybody that markets with me. I try to put, not everybody, but quite a few of them. So I put them on there. I can show them how many people, I can send them a report and tell them how many people clicked through to their website and got to them. Again, I'm showing them what they're getting. When they get these emails from me or from my constant contact, what am I doing? I'm showing them. They see it all. They see that, hey, look, I'm spending this amount of money and they're giving me this. That you can't, they're not hiding from it. So, whether either, that's one thing. If you're not using constant contact, you have to figure out how to, get your emails from your customer. And again, that online ticketing, I download everything that way. I put them right into this and I market to them. You upload it to Constant Contact and you start email marketing to them. So that's another tool. Trust me. Get emails.
The other thing that I want to point out real quick, because some of you, I don't know how large your tracks are or how small they are. Our track, we feel we're in between, a national event and a small track, hometown track. That's kind of our feel. Don't let any of this scare you off because your track is either too small or too large. It's never too large. Okay, when we first kind of got the racetrack deal going and everything, like how can we compete against a national event and a track? How can we compete against Dallas and Topeka? We're in the middle of those two. How can we bring in our customers? How can we bring in the racers? And it wasn't difficult. It was like, well, we're both racers, so we understand the race side. We're both track owners. We understand the racetrack side. There's not a racetrack that if I go to a different race that Keith goes to, then I'm not sending him pictures of the concession stand and what they're charging prices and how they're getting their people in, and he's sending me advertising stuff that they're doing. Every time you go to somebody else's track, try to take something from them. Years ago at the PRI show, Steve Yearwood, which is one of the greatest guys out there in marketing with drag racing without a doubt, he used to have a dinner, and it was a non-denominational dinner. And basically what it was is a bunch of us drag racing guys would go have dinner, we'd talk about things that worked positively for our racetrack throughout the year. That's kind of fallen to the wayside. And that's one reason why Keith, when Racing Junk asked about doing this, we are not intimidated by any racetrack in the country. If you want to go around and look at the tracks that NHRA owns, the ones that Bruton Smith owns, and you want to look and see how many Facebook people they have, we're right there with them or more. You want to go and look at IndyCar, you want to go look at those guys, we're right there with those guys. And we're just a pair of Okies that like drag racing, that our habit got bigger than what we like to do, so we just bought a racetrack. So don't let any of this intimidate you. Take it little pieces at a time. And y'all too can make all of this work. You can make it successful. You can make good marketing partners. You can increase revenues at your racetrack.
Don't be scared to email me. I have no problem with helping.
Keith, will you say your email again? We had a question from online. And we'll post his email as well if he's okay with it.
It's Keith, Keith.Haney, Haney, at saveongm.com, SAVEONGM.com. I'm going to get a little into so you all see this. You're starting to see a piece of the pie and how everything's kind of going together with the way I do it. But this next deal is, I'm going to go to Facebook. This Facebook one is something that every track needs to know. I'm going to show you something today that I promise will make you money. How many people market on Facebook? How many people pay to market on Facebook? How many people know actually how to market when they pay on Facebook? You think you do? Okay. You all seen that 105,000 people that I had on Constant Contact, right?
With them. I can't do anything with it.
It's okay. As you can see, if you just look, that's all the companies I own and all the companies I have a part of and everything I do. It's all my personal. So, I'm gonna go down here to create an ad. Now this is something, again, this is something that you need to know. Facebook has changed again just in the last 3 weeks. So I'm having to stay on top of it big time. So when I do a commercial, I'll do a video here. I'll name it, just say that. Now, here's where you get into it. Everybody starts looking at, how many people seen this? Y'all seen this? Okay. This is when you're going to go create a video. You already created a video. I promise this is going to make you a lot of money. You already created a video. So now it's time to go promote it. How many people buy TV? How many people buy radio? You're fixing to stop, so. I'm fixing to show you how to stop and save that money. Now, Facebook's not the end all, okay? It's not the world, but it's become a big part of marketing today. A big part. Instagram, you probably don't even do much on Instagram. How many people got an Instagram account? Not personal. Racetrack. Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instagram has now partnered with Facebook. Did you all know that? How many people knew that? Good. So, right here, we talked about Eventbrite, right? What do y'all see? Now, PDRA's here. Every customer that bought a ticket at the PDRA or did anything at the PDRA, I have the email list, right? Y'all see that? How did I get that there? You download it from your Constant Contact, or if you have an email database in your computer system, I don't know if you may have a computer system, download it. You upload, you have to go and upload it. You upload it into Facebook, and it's a little time consuming, so I have to do that later. But, so right here, I've got every event broken out, right? So there's my monster truck. That was that monster truck event. I'm marketing to them. So let's say PDRA is coming back to Tulsa, right? I know everybody that came from PDRA, right? The last time. Well, I want them to come, and I want to start marketing the ones that came to my other races. So I click TRP's email database. I click PDRA. I click October. Keep going here. Monster Truck. KMRO, Mud Race. Home Builders Association. For those that, how many people have Home Builders Association? I have all their emails. All my dealerships databases. Go on and on. I can do every one of them. Now I have a little advantage because I do use the dealerships databases to market. So now, everybody, because I have an email and because I've uploaded it to Facebook, I have permission to market to those people. You have to know about the privacy laws and all that, okay? I have permission because they bought a ticket from me. I have permission to market to them. The best part about it is that same person that you just sent a Constant Contact email out, email database, you just emailed them about an event, right? Now I'm going to Facebook and I'm hitting those same people because I have their email already and I have permission, so you're going to see me. Whether you like it or not, you're going to see me. You don't have no choice. You're going to see me, period. So, I go and I created that event, right? Then I go down here. This is where things start getting interesting. I'll go ahead and put TRP. Actually, what I did was I took everything on my database from Contact and made one. But if I want to do an individual event, I can do that. The next thing is, every month, you download your email database again and you re-upload it to the same one, and it just updates new emails, adds ones that are not in there, and it just continues to grow. Your database continues to grow on Facebook. How many people do this? You're in a different industry. So a little more advanced. Again, drag racing's behind some of the other industries. But, So anyway,
But he's not lucky enough to have a racetrack yet, but we'll be happy to sell you one, so
That's
you
right.
can use all of your new fancy equipment.
so
Because
now,
you don't.
so now, all right, so you picked your email database, and so you're marketing the people that's already been at the racetrack, or basically anybody that's ever bought a ticket. Now, you go right here. Most people don't know it, so they just leave this alone, right? So if you click this right here, you see what this says right here? People who live in this area. So, I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to pick a zip code. I'll just say Tulsa, Oklahoma. And it pops up, right? So I'll hit Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, how far do you think we should go out? So I'll go out 50 miles from Tulsa. 50-mile span of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Then I want to go, I can put in Arkansas, and go 50 miles from it. I can put in Missouri, go 50 miles from it. So at this point right here, I've chosen that. Right now, it says people who live in this area, people in this location. So people in this location, this is where Facebook steals your money. Because most people don't realize people in this location. So you think, yeah, I want to touch everybody that's in this location, right? How many people drive through your town heading to the next town? Or heading through, like for Oklahoma, if you're on 169 or 44, those are the only way to go through, right? So, but you're coming through from, Arizona heading to somewhere else, and you're just driving down the road. But your wife's sitting over in the chair and she's on her Facebook, right? Or your kids are in the back of the car and they're on their Facebook. If they're in this location, it's going to hit every single buddy in the location. But that's not the people you want. You're not wanting the people that are driving through, right? You want the people who live. So you click live in this location. Now, everybody that lives in this 50-mile radius that I picked is going to see it. Not anybody passing through. What am I doing? Direct marketing to those people. So you go down here, you can break it down into age if you want to. That's basically my customer. So that's basically our customer. And you just scroll down. I don't do demographics or behaviors because ours change so much. I mean, I've got women that are hairstylists that love drag racing. I mean, so you really can't pick a behavioral in my opinion. Then you get down here and you hit, right here, there's another way that they get your money. Automatic placement, which is what most everybody does. I actually don't. I click edit placement. At this point, you see this right here? Audience network. That's other things that has nothing to do with marketing to all our people. I don't want to hit somebody else's and let them use my money. So the only people I want to hit is on Facebook and Instagram now. That's the new tab. You get Facebook and Instagram at the same time. But you have to have an account that's tied to your Facebook. So you got to go create an Instagram account, go into Facebook, go under settings, tie your Instagram into it. And you go down here and you pick a budget, $500, the event's a month ahead of time, Other part is I like to run at a time. So from 12 a.m. to 3 a.m., what do you think's happening? Or to about 4 a.m., what do you think's happening? Everybody's partying, looking through their Facebook, they're just getting through, or they're looking through it, right? They're not paying attention. Half of them are lit up, or that's the way I look at it. So I don't advertise that time. But what time does everybody get up? About 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, right? The average person that's going to come to my event with a family is probably going to go to bed about 11:30. So that's basically 11:30 at night. So I'm going to advertise my video from probably 6 a.m. 6 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. That's all I'm going to advertise. That's all I'm gonna advertise is that time. You just go down here, hit continue. You pick your video, and it can be a combination, that's my dealership stuff. You can do it, use an existing one if you put it on Facebook already. I can change down here, toss or Raceway Park. It would go find a video. And then you can use it. I like to create my own. That's the Daddy Dave and Kyle. I found one if I want to promote that. But I like to create my own because you can step down through here. You basically go right here and you hit browser. You open up, pick a TV spot, hit start. You pick another thing right here is if your picture is more than 60, if the words on the screen is more than 60% of the picture, it will not they will not approve it. So, like this just has very little words on it. You can't put ticket prices and all that stuff because they won't approve it. It has to be less than 60. It has to only be 40% can be words. The rest has to be a video, or it has to be a picture. So anyway, go down through that. I like this part because I can add a URL, put a website, it'll show up at the bottom. I can put a description, save money. I can then put in a news feed, whatever, and it'll all show up on this video. So, and then at that point, you basically review your ad, everything you did. It'll tell you everything that you chose to sit down and do. Guys, this is where it will change. It will change for your racetrack. I promise you. So, you create an event on Facebook. I can then go market that event on Facebook and get people to see that event on Facebook. I can do a video. I can do a picture. I can do anything I want. The average person, or the average, in the population, 83% have a Facebook. 83% have Facebook. Their kids have Snapchat. And most of the kids have Snapchat. And Snapchat ain't quite gotten into the money aspect, but Instagram's starting to figure it out. They're starting to be able to do sponsored. So that same video is going to show up on Instagram. And the little deal that always says underneath it, sponsored. So there's a whole lot that goes into everything that we do, and we're not perfect, and there's a lot of people who do it better. In other areas, I mean, we all learn every day. So that's just one of the things that I thought that would really help you. There's a combination of everything that goes in emails, all the stuff that we're doing, all ties together, right? And it matters. It does matter. If you want to change your business, do it. Again, if you have questions, email me. One last thing. When you go to start talking about your place with marketing partners, take a good look. 1.5 million people reached in the last 28 days. These are numbers.
That's off season. When we
This
have
is
a
off-season.
peak race,
Well,
a throwdown or a PDRA race or a regional, the Western Conference Finals, those numbers will get 3 to 4 million in a month's time.
Those people that you want to go get marketing dollars from. It's marketing partnerships. Make sure you talk to your sponsors about marketing partnerships. It's not a sponsor. It's a marketing partnership. Give them what they want. When I send my emails out to Racing Junk, to Lucas Oil, I'm one of the very few racetracks, I'm not going to say, but they've been with me they've been with us a while. They've renewed every year. And they do take care of us. And we're one of the very few racetracks. But we provide, if you ask Bogner, if you ask Forrest, if you ask Morgan, if you ask any of them, they see the value that this racetrack gives them and the notoriety of Little Bitty Old Racetrack in the state of Oklahoma. We're not Charlotte. If I was Charlotte, I'm just my ideas would be bigger, but it takes a lot more to run something like that. So a lot of you all may not have in-house marketing people. If you do, it's great to get them on board of knowing a lot of these things, but it's almost a full-time job. And if you think all they're doing is playing on their Facebook all the time. How many people say that? Guess what? Guess what though? It takes a lot of time to do this. You see how long it took us? I appreciate all your attention because y'all have given me, I can't believe everybody's still sitting here. But it takes a lot of time to make it happen. And if you want to change the way drag racing is done or roundy round track, it don't matter. I mean, it don't make a difference what sport it is. It still matters to the industry. And in order for these companies to keep giving us dollars, we got to keep doing our side of it and quit being in the 1920s, is what I call it. So, again, show them these numbers. Yes, sir.
I don't know if you're gonna mention how you scroll up, the export data. Just put it in the spreadsheet and you can go back.
Yes,
under and-
yeah, right up here. Yeah, right here, you can export.
Yeah.
And you can send this data. You can send.
You can go back 180 days. I tried to do
Right.
it for a year, but it won't let you go back so far.
I know, I'd like to do the whole year.
I tried to,
I'd love to see those numbers. But these are stuff that you can give your marketing partners and your people and everybody you're trying to go get money from. Because we're all doing it, right? We're all going here and we're all trying to meet up with someone to, hey, maybe we can get $1 from this company or $1 from this company. We're all doing it. Every one of us. Well, let's show them. The other part is you've got to deliver. You have to deliver, because if you don't deliver, you don't get anything. You won't get anything. Yes.
I'd like to say hello.
Oh, yeah. Right, before you go. Last thing is, I'll send that whole report. Everybody see my website numbers. They see my website numbers. They see my Facebook numbers. They see the crowds, the pictures. They can use them. They can do whatever they want to with it. Winter circle pictures. I don't know how many people got winter circles. Let me tell you what, you need to be charging for that winter circle. But you need to demand. This is one thing we've done for racing. They demanded it. We demand every event, if you won, runner-up, or whatever, you have to take it in front of the Racing Junk winter circle.
Or you don't get paid.
Or you don't get anything. Marketing partnerships.
Well, my car's already loaded up. Well, you better bring something up here because you're not getting paid until we get that
No,
picture.
we don't pay the racer. Yeah, the racer has to get a picture there, or they don't get a check. Well, your car's loaded, sorry. Go unload it.
You better bring the motorhome, something. We're getting a picture for the racing junk.
I mean, that's how we produce, that's how we do it. So, again, there's a whole lot more. This is just part of it. I mean, sharing, liking, getting people to do stuff, it all matters. Everything you see kind of goes together. So, as far, anybody have any questions anybody have any other side of questions about racetracks? Yes.
When you use Facebook, I know you're using it for videos, but do you use it to promote a flyer?
Absolutely.
So, I'm always getting rejected saying that
Because the flyer is the flyer, you have more words
Yes.
than you do text, or you have more text than you do picture. So again, you're gonna get rejected if you have more than 40% of the total JPEG, whatever you're doing. It has to be something, if it's over 40%, they are gonna reject it. So, no matter how you look at it, I don't care if you're boosting the ad or if you're promoting it, they will reject it. So the best thing to do is find what's captured of your event, find something that's the main part of your event, and just do it. And do with the picture and do less text. And then, one of the things that I found to be really good is when you create an event, how many people create an event on Facebook, right? So, if you go over and you create an event, one of the things I found is, this is over with, but promoting this page, I tried it for the first time, I spent $120 or whatever it was, 127,000 reach. I mean, people interested, going, not going, whatever. But for the first time, I started putting all my information into the event. I started marketing the event, and my ticket sales went up. If you take a look up here, you can get your tickets. Oh, it's over with. You can't get your tickets.
I love to sell tickets to an event that's over.
You put your link. You took your link to the Eventbrite or Square or whatever you're using. You put your link in there, and they click on it, and they go right over there and they buy a ticket. I can show you the numbers that came from Facebook that went over to my Eventbrite and show you how many people bought tickets. It's crazy. So this right here I found to be a real good tool on the event side. So that's why we're going to create our event. We're going to create a ticket for every single event we have for 2017. We're going to do it before the year starts. PDRA is coming to Tulsa. I'm going to start an event for theirs. What's the best place? PDRA, I'm just going to use PDRA for an example because she just happened to be sitting there in my face. So, they are a company that's worldwide. So, they don't know your own market, right? So they don't have the customer database that they have on their Facebook is not yours. You already have that information. So any event companies that or anybody that you're bringing in to help or to put on a race or whatever, you should be working with them. Work with them because you can promote, and they can do it too. One event, you need to promote one event, not one on theirs and one on yours. One event which should be on yours. You can give them access to your Facebook as a sponsor or whatever. They can go get their own numbers. They can see everything that's going on. You can make them an admin for a time period. You can do whatever you want to. So I can add you to be an advertiser on and see all my numbers. You can do that with everybody that you do business with too. So you should be working with one event, both people promoting one event, one online ticket sale place, not two. Whether it's theirs, if it's theirs, promote theirs. That's fine. You're going to get your money. Same thing, in Eventbrite and those other places, they can add you as a, what is it called?
As a user.
As a user and see all the numbers. Where you can see how much cash came in through the event so that you make sure that that company is being truthful to you. Okay? So you can see all that. But anyway, I'd say you do one event, do everything. There's just a lot going on. I mean, there's just a whole lot. There's a whole lot to do. Other than that,
Bring Tony up.
Todd, do you have anything?
Oh, no, they've heard enough, probably.
All right, I mean, we've been here for probably 2 hours.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half, wow.
Bring Tony up.
When you do the paid advertising for the event, do you have a specific window that you recommend, time frame before the event?
I like to do 30 days before the event. Some people like to do a week of the event. Some people like to do whatever, but I like to do 30 days before the event.
Now, with that 30 days before the event, do you guerrilla market at all 14 days prior? Because I know like our deal is about 2 weeks out is when we really start throwing it to the coals as much as we can. 30 days, you kind of put a teaser out there.
If you've got online ticket sales, do 30 days. Grind away.
Do you realize that if you do 14 days out that you lose over 70% of your market? Because they already have plans made. Most people make plans now. 21 days out is what the average is, what the numbers that we're getting back. So if you go in at 14 or 10 days out, those people have already scheduled their fishing trip, their hunting trip, their basketball games, their soccer games, all of that stuff. So you're too late hitting them. You really need to be out way before 14 days. That last 14 days is somebody sitting around, don't have anything else to do, and they're like, okay, well, I'm going to go to the races. Or they're the hardcore junkie, fan, spectator, whatever. They're coming no matter what because they know what your schedule is. You're trying to reach people that are not coming to your racetrack. So you need to go way out before that 14 days.
Hey, one other thing that I've done too is if they like your Facebook page, they basically like you, right? Is that true? I block those, okay? Yes, I block those and ban them. They can't see nothing. Trust me, I ban enough people. You think I'm kidding? I ban people, and guess what? They come back begging to get back on the page. So you'll find if you ban them, they'll straighten up. Todd will ban somebody in about 2 seconds. He has to calm me down. But another thing that I've noticed, or that I've been doing, is, and it helped at the last race, was I marketed to only people. So I had like 3 campaigns going, just trying to see which one did the best. I marketed to the people that only liked our Facebook page. So that 100,000 people, I think I had 98,000. I can't get over freaking SMPG that's got 100 and whatever thousand. Pisses me off. But anyway, they have a great Facebook following.
Turn Donald on.
I know, Donald did it, but we're at 97,000, we're trying to reach that 100,000 mark, it's tough. But I'm marketing, I found that to be the best thing. I marketed just to the people who like my Facebook, and I got a better reach, better frequency, a lower cost, and I believe it helped ticket sales. So you can create a campaign, maybe spend 50 bucks on it, or 100 bucks on it, and just see how it does. Don't spend a whole lot of money. I mean, I'll spend $1,200 on an event, $1,000. I mean, if you spend $20,000 on TV, why not spend $5,000 on Facebook? Is there anything different? No. Guess what? You're going to get more viewership on Facebook than you are on TV. I can promise you that. Especially if you're in a market like Palm Springs. I mean, there's 50,000 TV channels and. I mean,
Right here, Keith.
yes.
Keith, how do you expand your viewership if you've reached the limit or the max on?
You don't that's what page you create. Ours is a page, so with a page you have no limits. With a personal page, it's 5,000. I'm maxed on my personal page, so I had to go create a Keith Haney Racing page, which I have 28,000 people who follow it. I have 24,000 that follow Twitter. You can also get your, by the way, everything we do on Facebook also goes to Twitter too. Because if we post something on Facebook, where our Twitter accounts and Instagram account is tied to it, it automatically posts over there too. That's something that you all need to make sure that you get. Facebook has become a one-way tool, like he's talking about other things. But Facebook's become a one-way tool with it. Now you can get to all these media deals. I used to have another company called Cute, and they posted to everything for me, but it was too hard to do. Now Facebook's starting to do it, and it makes it easy. So you make sure you created a page. If you set your racetrack up as a personal page, go change it. A lot of people have. That's how they all started. You had to accept a friend and all that stuff. Now just make sure that you create a page. Yes, sir.
You said you compared 3 different types of marketing on Facebook. What were the other 2?
Event. I did the event. So I created an event on Facebook. I did a video on Facebook. And I did
Facebook marketing.
Another one that's just for the people who like our Facebook page. And the biggest one was people who liked our Facebook page. So, all right. Any other questions? I'd like to bring Tony up here with Race and Jump. And hey, again, my email, just holler at me if you want. I don't mind helping in any way. So if I helped one racetrack today, it just helped our industry become better. So, thanks, sir.
Cutting short on time here. I appreciate every one of you. Keith, Todd, Big Don, thank you. On behalf of Michelle, Racing Junk, the relationship, that's obviously you're here because it works, right? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I'm a little, wow, I got blown away here, I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't want to be in y'all's shoes. It's a lot of work to do, right? Randy, a lot of new partners here today, a lot of folks I have not met. Love to meet you. I'll meet you outside if you have any questions. We obviously got your email. If you don't have time to meet and greet, love to chat with you. We can help. Absolutely. But this relationship works. Couple things I want to identify real quick. A lot of folks used to come to me. I was in the mobile home business for years, boat business. Ran many of those stores and operated them. And you bet a lot of folks come for the money. Local tracks, Langley Speedway, I grew up in Tidewater, Virginia, Suffolk Motor Speedway, Suffolk Dragway. All you can measure was really spectators then. Spectators, who's in the seats. You show up and figure that out. Well, it's changed, hasn't it? A lot of folks don't have a Big Don and a Todd, right? You don't have the resources. That's another thing we got to figure out. But Racing Junk can help with that. There's no doubt. However, if you embrace everything that Keith and the team here is what they've done, there's no doubt, why would you not? Just take a little chunk at a time and we can help walk you through it and get you where you need to be. Okay, but I firmly believe that. And I was at the Throwdown T-Town, absolutely seamless event from outside looking in, had a ball, treated exceptionally well. I was very impressed, enjoyed it. You didn't make it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I went to the house, but evidently you didn't win, but you should have. Had to go there, but again, thank you for all of y'all being here, taking the time. I'll be outside, love, again, chat with each and every one of you, and the ones that I haven't met before, that I've talked to on the phone. We got Joe and Stan here, Joe Smaling, Randy. Love to chat with you.
One other
Thanks
thing,
again.
with Racing Junk, they also, we've created a partnership, so they've created banners and stuff. So before our event, they'll run banners all through their website. So those racers that are, you know, looking for a car, or buying a part or whatever, all of a sudden they may see a Tulsa Raceway Park, throw down in T-Town this weekend, banner. So you can do some stuff with them. They have a huge following, which helps bring following to you. And that, I think that right there, if you do a little bit with them, spend a little money with them, they'll
Absolutely.
those banners help.
Trade
Just before
partnership-
event.
Trade partnership agreements are handled a little differently. There's lots of different packages we can do to help you folks. My job is to promote, obviously, new development business, okay? On the trade partnership, cross promotions. Michelle, she's done a wonderful job with the team here. Michelle Massey sitting right there. She makes it happen, and these guys, it just works for us. We leverage our members, obviously our users, our email database. Adriana right here, our social media, our content team. They just know how to get it done. And so I heard a lot about this, what you've been doing, how you're doing it. You're pretty sharp. We already know how to do it, right? So again, I'm here to help. Michelle, it's not a matter of if, but it's a matter of when. You guys need us, and we need you. We need to grow this thing grassroots, drag racing especially. I grew up, that's another conversation. Loved it, miss it, and looking forward to seeing you guys again out there. So again, thank you again. Appreciate y'all, and thank you three gentlemen, okay? Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. Be all right, Fred. Thank you, sir.
Thank you to everybody who has tuned in, and we will get some of those main points up on Facebook and on racingjunk.com, and we'll put you in touch with Keith and Todd and Big Don to answer further questions. So thanks everybody for tuning in.